School hadn't announced anything yet. We knew they would, but we kind of wanted to partner up and work in conjunction, just anything that may be lacking. So their announcement came out the next day. They were going to do lunch. I don't even think dinner had been thought about yet, because that came down the pipe maybe like a week later from Governor Hogan. So they were going to do lunch. I think they had 3 sites. They were going to do Galena, Garnet, and Rock Hall. And so the team, Arlene, Phil, Doncella, Rosie over at the L&B, we were like, well, what can we do to help those efforts? And we identified Millington, contacted Myra Butler at the community center for that Butlertown area, and then we contacted CC down in Fairlee at the apartments. So we were like, okay, the school has 3, we have 3. Let's rock and roll with those 3. So that first week we just focused on breakfast bags. The kids were getting like a Pop-Tart, boiled egg, juice, water, fresh fruit, granola, whatever was coming in, we was getting it out that we thought would be, somewhat a nutritious breakfast. And that's what we did the first week. And then phase 2 came right behind that with Arlene and Phil really spearheading the partnership with Sumner Hall.
Where are you getting your food?
Everywhere. Everywhere. I know we're getting some fresh produce delivered. The good people over at Cutting Edge Floor, they're bringing us cases of produce every week. I don't know where they're getting it. I know we've reached out to Easton. They have a produce company down there. Trish McGee actually went and picked up some fresh produce for us yesterday. Our local farmers, we're getting some lettuce and stuff in from local farmers. So we're getting it from any source.
And Phil, there was a particular need in Chestertown with seniors, wasn't there?
Demand from the seniors started coming in through, I think it was through LMB. That was Rosie. Got the word that there were seniors out there who, couldn't travel. They were stuck. They were afraid to go out into the grocery stores, and were struggling. And so we set up a program the second week. We started getting volunteer drivers, and Lane Hawkridge, who drove a UPS truck. I never knew that, but he drove a UPS truck for about 10 years. So he's a great logistics guy. He started booking the drivers and the routes. I started recruiting drivers, and we started delivering to about 75 seniors now.
Paul, what are the stories you're hearing from people?
Everybody's beyond grateful that this initiative even sprung up. They're like, I've heard stuff like, if it wasn't for this going on, I don't know what I would do. Or if you weren't getting these bags to my mom or my dad or my grandmother, like they would be in trouble.
I've been getting emails in from some of these seniors, and it's like their kids, their children are somewhere else, and they're emailing me and say, my dad's 84, he's stuck, he can't get out. Can you help him? Those kinds of stories are coming across my desk, every week since we've been open. And the word is spreading. So other people are finding out that we're here to help as well.
Paul, what is your greatest worry going into the next 4 weeks?
It's just wearing down. That's the biggest thing. We've talked about it. Me, Phil, Arlene, we sat down, we talked about it over the phone and through email. Just being conscious that self-care is important in this time, right? I think we're on the front lines, and we're trying to make it go, and we're trying to take care of people, but we got to be mindful that, we benefit nobody if we get sick. And not from COVID, just, from fatigue or not taking care of yourself. So just to sustaining it, I think that's like one of my biggest concerns. Like the money that's been fundraised, I think we're good. All money is, we could take more, but right now I think we're good financially.
But I'm concerned that this volunteer organization of 175 people who just keep showing up, and somehow the food keeps showing up and the people keep showing up and it keeps happening, but it just worries me that someday that it won't. And so that, we need institution to take over and make this go on. Unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't happen for too many more months, but you know, I think the institutions have to step up at some point.
How do you think Kent County has done in the middle of this crisis?
It's nothing short of miraculous, man. We're the smallest county in the state of Maryland, and the fundraise, the money that we fundraise, like Phil said earlier, 170 volunteers. You got all walks of people coming together every single day. I got numbers. I know 600 breakfast bags go out daily, and on those Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're up to sending out 150 senior citizens bags. And again, it's a mom and pop operation, but if I got to get a letter grade, an A++. Like Kent County is completely awesome right now.
I would like to have a shout out to Sumner Hall too. We started this thing with just, people showing up with granola bars at the community center, dropping off food. And then other people were saying, I'd love to help, but, how can I donate money? We didn't have any way to do that. This is just a bunch of volunteers, from the Social Action Committee mostly. So I called up Sumner Hall and I said, look, you guys are 501c3. Could we work together? Could you set up a separate account there to take these financial resources? And they said, absolutely. The next day it was set up and money starts pouring in. We were at $10,000 within about 4 or 5 days. It was really miraculous.
We have to shout out the Lions Club, Miss Curl. She was able to work directly with Doncella Wilson from the Kent local management board, and Cisco. They sent up 15 tons of food last week, and we were able. In that same shout out, Worton Dennis, he sent 5, 6, 7 of his men over that day to help us unload that 15-ton truck. Washington College, they stepped up with refrigeration space. We have food in Washington College refrigerators right now. Barbara on the Bay, the Retriever, and the Washington College Food Laboratory, they have food. It's just the whole community. Before we go, I feel like we're probably wrapping up. We do have a surprise coming up on Saturday, and again, it goes back to the sense of normalcy. I believe we have like 430 Easter baskets that are being put together as we speak, and I got good word that Peter Cottontail will be in Kent County.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you.